And hello everybody, welcome to the Mango Grove. My name is Krisha, and this is today's Bitcoin analysis video. I'm going to first start off by apologizing to each and every one of you. I know I am super late today. It's just that Sean did have a dental appointment, and I decided to accompany him on this appointment. And also, hey, we started a new tradition. Yeah, so turns out, so this is a tradition. After every dental appointment, we're gonna be going out for ice cream. So today we started this new tradition, and yeah, I took him out for ice cream. In fact, we ate a little too much ice cream to an extent where I actually came home and crashed. But anywho, here I am on the charts, giving you guys the daily scoop on price action. So here's what we're going to be talking about today. Okay, so it's, by the way, going to be primarily focused on Bitcoin and technical analysis. That's going to be the primary focus. So no fundamentals, no macro. So just a quick heads up on that. So what we're going to be talking about today is what's on your mind. What's on your mind? I'll be fleshing that out in a bit, but what's on your mind? The second point on the agenda is bull run triggers and the update I have for you on that, because we were looking at a total of 3 out of 4 bull run triggers, right? Out of which we're still waiting on that 4th trigger. Now, there is an update on the 4th trigger that I want to go over with you guys today. Alrighty, so yeah, this is going to give us 100% outlook in that, hey, this, in fact, is heading into the next bull run. So I'll be going over that today, in addition to, well, targets to the upside, because as you can see, Bitcoin is bloody bullish here. Okay, so we'll be talking about upside targets. I do believe we've entered a brand new range of volatility. And then we're going to be ending with the previous bull run signatures, okay, versus now. Sean found something very interesting that he had brought up in his video from yesterday. In addition to that, he had actually posted it on the Discord chat yesterday, I believe. So I want to go over that little picture and that little fractal comparison with you guys today, okay? Now, I might not actually go through the agenda in this order, of course. I will be including timestamps below, so you guys can go ahead and check out the timestamps if you want a bit more sort of structure to how you follow this video. Anywho, with this, let's jump in. Now, of course, guys, it goes without saying that like button goes a very long way. It keeps Sean and I motivated. So go ahead and smash the likes if these videos have been helping you guys. But hey, if you want to wait until the end to see if you derive any value from here whatsoever, then by all means, you can wait until the end. So with this, let's jump in. Now, I'm going to be talking about what's on your mind. So usually every time I start these videos, I'm always, trying to figure out what is that you guys care about. What are the questions that you guys are asking yourselves? Now, I usually take Sean's input, and I went up to him today. I'm like, what do you think people are thinking with this most recent pump? Because what you guys need to know is that this weekly candle, I'm currently on the weekly time frame. If I hover over this weekly candle has already done a good 12%. 12%. Let that sink in. Okay, 12%. However, 10% from the 12 came in the last 12 hours. Okay, so we've sort of broken out of a volatility range right here with this weekly candle. But I went up to Sean. I'm like, what do you think? What's on everyone's minds? He's like, well, people are wondering when are they going to get the next pullback? I'm like, no, you got to be kidding me. I mean, we just got the pullback. This was the pullback, right? That was a good 11% to the freaking downside, man. And not just that. It's one thing to get a pullback, but it's another thing to get a pullback into every key level possible. Okay, so I looked at that. He's like, well, what can you do? Some people were just not prepared. Everyone was expecting for more downside from Bitcoin, perhaps testing those weekly levels. So, I mean, I'm taking it in stride. And if you are someone looking for the next pullback opportunity, we will be talking about that today. In addition to, I also want to sort of address one more feeling, or rather one more decision that some of you are looking to take is, should you be buying Bitcoin right here after this pump? Would I personally buy Bitcoin right here? And I want to start off with that question, addressing that. And the answer, very simple answer to that is freaking no. I would not be buying Bitcoin right here. And why is that? Because on the weekly time frame, guys, all you guys got to do is turn on your Mango ribbon indicator. Just turn it on. I'm going to knock off the text for now and just look at what we have over us. Look at the cluster of freaking resistance that we have over us. Okay, so this is not a cluster of resistance that you guys want to be messing with. Let me just go ahead and draw a box right there. My object tree is very messy, so I can't even find what I'm looking for on there. Don't be like me, be a bit more organized. But anywho, look at the cluster of resistance we have. We have the 55 exponential moving average, we have the 200 simple moving average, and the 200 exponential moving average, all three of which have been respected very well in Bitcoin's price history. Okay, these are not regions of resistance. These are not regions that you want to be messing around with. Okay, so if you're looking to go long against resistance, it is not recommended whatsoever. What is the high probability trade setup here? Well, if I'm looking to go long, I'm going to be looking for price to first clear out the entire cluster of resistance before I look to take the next trade. Okay, for now, this is not a high probability long trade setup. Not at all, not even close. You never try to long resistance, guys. Okay, it is a recipe for disaster, especially when it comes to trade management, because if price pulls back here, okay, you are suddenly in a very, very uncomfortable position. Alrighty, not only does it take up liquidity, it also takes up mind space. Because now you're not looking for the next potential best trade opportunity. You're looking to manage this trade that's going against you. Okay, that is mental capital being wasted. Alrighty, so make sure you're positioning properly. If you have to step away from the chart, if you're looking to buy here and you got to step away from the chart to basically convince yourself that, hey, this is not a high probability trade setup, then freaking do it. Okay, the time to have been buying, guys, was this region right here. Now, I had been going over this with you guys, and Sean too. We've been going over this with you guys for, well, days on end now, right? We brought up a key region of support to your attention, which was the monthly 10 simple moving average. Right, let's go ahead and smack a line right there just to show you the kind of support. Monthly 10 simple moving average. In addition to this, if I go ahead, put on my Mango dynamic indicator, go on over to the daily time frame, this was the daily dynamic support. In addition to this being daily dynamic support, if I take you on over to the 2-day time frame, this was 2-day dynamic support as well. Okay, back on over to the daily, put on my Mango ribbon, this was daily 200 EMA support as well. There was a lot of support right there. This was the time to be buying, and why? Why? Because it's an easy freaking trade to manage. Now, the only reason you would have hesitated from actually building a position on there is because you were scared, okay? You were fearful that price was going to drop further, perhaps into the weekly levels. Now, this is where conviction really comes into play. Okay, you guys really have to sit down. If you are torn on market direction, overarching market direction, this is where you really sit down with yourself and really ask yourself, okay, where is the market at right now? Right? You need to put in the work to get conviction in the overarching trend of the market. Because if you do not build conviction, guys, if you're not putting in the work to build conviction on the cyclical trend, you are not going to be able to take any positions with conviction. Okay, you are going to be scared on every dip worth buying. So this is the time that you take to build conviction in overarching market direction as well as your trading systems. So as far as the question, would I be buying here? The answer to that is freaking no, up against critical regions of resistance. Now, the next question, well, can we expect a pullback on this juncture? Well, for that, let's start off with the Mango dashboard. Now, I usually have a recipe in terms of pullback. Okay, I'm looking for two things. I'm looking for high volatility, frothy volatility on the dashboard. Okay, so high volatility plus I'm looking for critical resistance. Okay, if I get this recipe, I can then look for a pullback opportunity. Now, we know that we're up against critical resistance. I just showed you that entire weekly cluster of resistance over us, right? But now question is, do we have this high volatility combination with it? Well, for that, let's get on over to the Mango dashboard. Now, guys, the Mango dashboard can be found on app.mangoresearch.co if you guys want to follow along, okay? Now, I'm going to start off with the 4-hour time frame. We're going to start with our lower time frames because if anything, the major pullback is going to be given to us on the lower time frames. And why is that? Why am I looking for a pullback on the lower time frame first? It's because I know that the trend is so freaking volatile on Bitcoin right now that it's likely trending on some of our lowest time frames. I mean, considering we've done a good 10% in less than 12 hours, the trend has got to be on either the 1-hour time frame or the 4-hour time frame, right? Experience will tell you that. Now, Bitcoin USDT on the 4-hour time frame is currently long. We got this bullish trend signal yesterday, 1.7 days ago, and if you caught the trade based on when the signal went off, you're up by a good 10.51% on that trade. However, notice volatility at freaking 99. Okay, so 99 is super frothy. Now, when I see this, I'm like, okay, this is a good sort of, this is where I would likely be looking for a pullback opportunity given that I have the entire recipe that I'm looking for. So high volatility and critical regions of resistance. Okay, so now we know we have both. How about the 12-hour time frame? What's the 12-hour telling us? Bitcoin USDT also bullish, came in 12 hours ago. If you caught a trade on this, you're up by a good 0.99%. Now think about that, okay? Look at what's happening there. This trend cycle came in just 12 hours ago. Okay, so we've had a considerable amount of time to move up. However, returns on this, just 0.99%. Okay, this is telling me that, okay, we're seeing a bit of follow through, but not as much as we'd like to see for a signal that came in 12 hours ago. All right, once again, volatility flashing 92. Now, this is a pretty decent sort of combination for you to look for a potential pullback. So now with this, we can get back on over to the chart. Man, I'm actually looking at Bitcoin on my secondary screen, and we're up against resistance, but it's looking still looking really bullish. But hey, I'll still try and present to you a potential pullback setup as to when we can expect a pullback. But check out what I'm seeing right now, okay? I did do some preliminary analysis, so I know what to look for. I'm going to keep the pullback opportunity fairly simple. I'm looking at the daily closes, okay? I'm looking at this entire juncture right here for Bitcoin. And if I go ahead and smack a line right there, okay, you'll notice that Bitcoin really struggled to take out this region of resistance at 23.7K. It really freaking struggled. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days of trying again until it got rejected, and we made we had an 11% dump right after, right? So that was a considerable amount of time, and we finally managed to take it out in one fell swoop. 23.7K is that region that I would be like, yeah, man, that would be a great bid. I would love to gun for that. But now, what are the chances of 23.7K, right? Can we get that retest? Right? And at what point can we get that retest? Well, for that zoom out, I don't think it's going to be just one sort of region right there that we can look at. I think it's more of a zone. Okay, now hear me out. And this is why I think that Bitcoin is bloody bullish here, but I still cannot in good faith tell you guys, oh, go ahead, buy resistance. I cannot do that. I have to be, I need to know that this is a trade that I too will take, and I know I would not take a long position here. It's just as simple as that, okay? I will not tell you to do anything that I would not be willing to do. So I'm noticing this entire juncture right here as well. So now this is when Bitcoin actually broke down into 18.7K FTX drama, and then we rallied back up. But look at this juncture right here. This was our first push into $24,000, okay? So if I zoom into this price action, we can now go ahead and smack out a range right here as well. Okay, this was a range that Bitcoin also struggled up against. So now we have an entire zone. This is that entire zone that Bitcoin was struggling up against before the FTX drama as soon as we got down to 18.7K. Now I zoom out of my picture. We can go ahead and draw out a zone right there. Right? Now I'm honestly, guys, I'm walking you through my entire TA process, and sometimes, yeah, it can get a bit complex if you're using multi-time frame analysis, but it gives you a better, more holistic picture on how to approach these things and whether or not it helps you with expectations, really setting expectations for your pullbacks as well as your rallies. So I know that, okay, you know what, Bitcoin actually managed to clear the bottom part of the zone on the daily time frame, but the top not so much. But does that make this any less bullish? No, it doesn't, okay? Because now I'm looking at the top. Now that while price is living over the top of the range at 24.4K, I want to now know, how did the 12-hour close relative to that? Well, let's get on over to the 12-hour time frame. And there we go. That's how the 12-hour closed, guys. So now 12-hour did close over that. That's a strong freaking close on the 12-hour. So so far, if I'm being completely honest, Bitcoin looks like it does want to continue. At what point will I really expect a pullback? Well, as soon as we start closing multiple 4-hour candles underneath $24,465, only then will I honestly expect a pullback from Bitcoin. Okay, not before then. I want to see weakness along this region. If we start seeing weakness, then I'll be like, okay, the bears look like they want to take this down a little further. Perhaps another shallow dip to the downside. What am I going to be gunning for? I'm going to be gunning for this range right here, 23.7K. Okay, keep it simple, stupid. If you guys want to go ahead and take note of these numbers, 24,465 top of the range, 23,757 bottom of the range. It's only when we start showing weakness along 24.4K, only then will I expect a pullback from Bitcoin. Alrighty. I would not be bidding any of these regions. I caught my bid here. I'm very happy with it. I cannot in good conscience tell you guys to buy into resistance. I know I personally would not do that. But now, considering the bulls have the edge, what is the next target to the upside? Well, as soon as we take out this cluster right here, I know that Bitcoin enters a brand new zone of volatility, and using my magic ball of targets, I have come up with another target for you guys. I joke, it's not a magic ball of targets. I am using price action and momentum on the chart to come up with my targets. The next target for Bitcoin, guys, comes in at that. Oh, I already have it on my chart. Great stuff, Krisha. Good job ruining it. But anyways, the next target, guys, comes in right here at around $27,359. Now, please note, I've used price action, I've used momentum, and this actually lines up with another critical region. Check this out, okay? 27,359. If I take you guys on to the monthly time frame, put on my ribbon. My internet is really slow today for some reason. Okay, put on my ribbon. I'm sorry for the very, very messy, ugly chart. But just zoom into this, you'll find that 27.3K also lines up with monthly 21 EMA, guys. 21 EMA is going to be very important. It's going to be an important region to clear out. And yeah, the next range comes in at around that region. Okay, how far is that from where we're currently sitting at right now? Well, that's going to be another 12% to the upside. Now, as far as the fourth bull run signature is concerned, I told you guys that, hey, I have a total of 3 out of 4 bull run signatures, right? Let's go over that very quickly. I'm not going to go over all the signatures. I've been going over them in almost every video, but 3 out of 4 have already gone off. We're waiting on the fourth one. I do believe that I have an update for you on the fourth one. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring that up very quickly. We were looking at the Ichimoku calculation on the dynamic. Let's go ahead and pull it up, as well as the 55 simple moving average to act as our filter to make sure that we are on the right side for when that bull run trigger actually goes off. Now, in my previous video, I said, hey, 75% chance that we are heading into the next bull run. We get this signature trigger. I'm saying 100% we're in a bull run. Okay. Yes, conviction is important. Like I mentioned earlier, conviction is very, very important. And that's why I've created these 4 triggers to help me with my conviction. I've been giving this to you, right? So notice what's happened here for the first time. Bitcoin is now living over the Ichimoku dynamic right there. So this is our first region of resistance we want Bitcoin to clear. Okay, this comes in at around 23.8K. Okay, 23.8K, once again, that same daily region of support, guys. Okay, that'll be such a good bid to catch, so easy to manage. Okay, 23.8K. Now, this was our first region. As soon as we take this out, okay, if we close this weekly over 23.8K, I'm saying this is bloody bullish. I won't be surprised if we crush weekly support and head up to that next 55 simple moving average. When was the last time we lived over the dynamic using the Ichimoku calculation? Well, let's go ahead and go back to, previous price action. The last time we did it, okay, was right here. Bitcoin was sitting at $46,871. This is the first time since then that we've actually managed to, reclaim that for now. Okay, we're still waiting on a candle close on this region. So that's one quick update for you guys as far as this fourth trigger is concerned. Now, what this also brings me to is a signature that Sean found on Bitcoin. He's essentially drawn parallels of that bullish trend, that bull run to the previous bull run from 3K all the way up to 14K. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the Discord chat very quickly for you, just to show you what he found. All right, so here's the Discord chat. Here's what Sean found. So he posted a picture of Bitcoin on the daily time frame during the run-up from 3K to 14K. And he's drawn a parallel to, Bitcoin's run up in the present day from around 15.8K to where we're at right now, which is around $22,000. Right, so check this out. Look at what he found on the 3K run up. So it was Bitcoin was emerging out of 3K right here. Okay, trending on the daily dynamic, came down to the daily dynamic, spent a good 6 days consolidating on the daily dynamic before we saw a rally to the upside and then trend continuation all the way up to $14,000. Okay, now remember, this is 3K. This is back in 2019 already. But now if you look at present day, he went and presented, today's chart. I'm going to go here. Okay, now this was 15.8K, run up, once again, trending on the daily dynamic. We spent, once again, guys, 6 days consolidating on daily dynamic support. Okay, so the resemblance is uncanny right now. Question is, do we see the same sort of signatures play out during this run up as well? And if that actually comes to fruition, of course, these are just blueprints that we can sort of look at to really, anticipate. Okay, what's a good region? What indicators and what regions of support does Bitcoin usually follow during these sort of very, very volatile markups to the upside? So this also gives me pause, and it makes me think of the last bull run trigger that we were looking at, right? Which is the one that we just went over. The weekly dynamic in conjunction with the 55 simple moving average. So I want to go over that with you guys once again with, of course, a nice clear chart, because you guys deserve better than my mess. But if I go ahead and turn on the dynamic, take you guys on over to the weekly time frame. Once again, turn on the Ichimoku, sorry, not the volatility, Ichimoku, and turn on the 55, okay? Let's do that. Nice and neat. 55. I want to see how Bitcoin performed on this trigger in the last bull market. Okay, now if I just zoom out, we know that this was the 3K to 14K run up. Let's go ahead and zoom in. How did Bitcoin perform right here? Once again, we found support on 3-day dynamic. Okay, we had a bit, this was a very volatile sort of move for Bitcoin. Now, this was during the first, this should have been during the first daily consolidation, if I'm not wrong. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and mark it out with 2 vertical lines. We're honestly doing this together. Like, I have not prepared for this, but let's go ahead and mark it out with 2 vertical lines. But first, let's pay attention to how Bitcoin performed here. We found support on the weekly dynamic Ichimoku calculation, and then we got up to the 55 simple moving average, and then broke in one fell swoop. Not even a close over and then a break. So it didn't even give us a warning. It just broke. It was very, very, the bullish momentum really picked up on there. But also notice it sort of it punctured into a brand new zone of volatility when it even got up to the 55 simple moving average, right? Because all that time it was getting rejected off of this region right here. You can actually go ahead and draw a region of resistance at around 5.3K, right? We took that out and then rallied all the way up. So that was your first tell in that, okay, brand new zone of volatility. Watch out, bulls are in complete control. So I want to see if that lined up with the daily consolidation that Sean was looking at. And there we go. Yes, that did line up with the daily consolidation as well. Okay, so if we get very, very similar price action with price actually taking out the range high, I don't know, we could see Bitcoin actually go for it if we're sort of imitating the same signatures right here. Okay, so that's definitely something to watch out for. Look for the volatility zones to get punctured, because that's going to be your first bullish tell in that, okay, you know what, the bulls are looking to take this by the horns. We're going up even further. At that point, I won't be surprised if we even crush weekly resistance to the upside. So these are the critical sort of signatures to watch out for on Bitcoin's chart. Okay, but yeah, that was fun. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, and if you had something to take away from here, okay, whether it be pullback opportunities, whether it be would I be buying here, anything at all, make sure to smash that like button. It does go a very long way for the channel. And I will see you in tomorrow's update where I cover the altcoin that I'm looking at. And yeah, with this, guys, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way. Ciao, you guys.